Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Two Piece Pod. This is episode 6. I'm your host, Patrick. This episode is brought to you by Porterville Wholesales. Are you trying to get the outdoors ready for the summer? This summer is coming up very soon. It's already getting hot, so check it out. Porterville Wholesales has got you hooked up. He's got tons of liquidated items over there, such as lawn care equipment. Go take care of those weeds. He's got patio sets. He's got indoor, outdoor lighting. He's got it for you. He's got the paint sprayers, the compressors, whatever it is to take care, make it look good when you're out there barbecuing. Even if you want to look good on the inside, he's got stuff for that too. So go check him out at 1902 West Grand in Porterville, California, or check him out on my Facebook page or on my Facebook group. You can find me, Two Piece Pod, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so much more. Just go check it out. Go type it in. Go find me. Today, we want to jump in, get some stuff about California. We're going to go through some stuff about Kern County. We got a little bit of the NFL going on, AFC South this week. A lot of big things going on. I'm breaking it down a little bit more for you guys. I want to, other than my guest speakers on Monday, by the way, let's shout out to my guest speaker Monday coming out, Mitch Carter. He's going to be sitting here. He's a realtor that was living over near the coast and is now back after 10 years. Some stuff has happened. He's got a past, not about him, but some stuff has just gone on. So check out what he's got to say. It's going to be really interesting. We'll probably bring him back. It's a big story. Breaking it down for us first too. So go check that out. Pay attention. But again, I want to come to you guys on maybe Wednesdays and Fridays just to talk to you guys. I want to also be involved with the community. If things are going on that are cool, happening, all that good stuff, let me know. Let's get involved. So I'll probably mention that again a couple of times throughout this. So if you got any questions, you can always find me on my Facebook group. I'm pretty good at answering them. So jump on there. Let me know what's going on. You can also hit me up Instagram. Like I said, I do get it on Twitter. So if you want to go look for it on there too, you can. Also, we're probably going to hit that TikTok stuff going on, at least let you guys know what's mentioned and everything in there. So jumping right into it, Governor Newsom is still trying to push across the legislative desks that a bill could help us out for $400 for each car, up to 2 cars. So you'd only get, $800 if you got 4 cars, but $800 also if you only got 2 cars. So up to 2 cars, you can get $400. He's also offered to help out with stuff like public transportation for the next 3 months, as well as with trying to boost stuff like bikes or bike riding, walking, electric cars, and other forms of transportation that are more like environmentally healthy and environmentally safe and stuff like that. So with gas prices skyrocketing as of right now, and supposedly dropping and stopping for a little bit, but we got summer coming up, which means they're not going to stop, which means they're going to rise again. So this is hard for me to fathom just giving us $400 for each car. I don't feel like giving money out is the best way to go about fixing this problem. I mean, eventually you're going to say, hey, we gave all this money to you guys now. Hey, we need to get it back somehow. And we need you guys to pay for it doing this or pay for it doing that. And it's like, okay, but if we're paid for it doing this and that, then why did you give it to us in the first place? Like, I don't want my kids to have to pay extra taxes and pay all this extra money just because I wanted to live life like I was a lunatic or something, like, no, I'm willing to struggle myself for my kids right now. And that's okay because I can do that. Everything's going to be more expensive down the road anyway. You know what I mean? And I love the quote that I posted up on my group that Elon Musk said. He's like, my kids didn't choose to be born. I chose to have my kids. I don't owe my kids anything. Or, he said, my kids don't owe me anything, but I owe my kids everything. And it means so much to me, especially, having my kid. But it just means a lot to me to think like, yeah, this is something big for me to think like, yeah, I don't want that for my kids, especially when we see other states that are cutting taxes, on gas. And yeah, seeing drops in prices of gas upwards to 40 cents. You know what I mean? That's a lot comparing it to what we got going on now. And I feel like in the long run, that would help out more. We can still offer free public transportation for the next 3 months, keep that going, but make it seem, and if you want to offer money, offer us $100. Don't offer us so much money. We don't need money. And I don't even feel like you should offer us 100. Just cut the taxes, keep the free public transportation. Let's boost up getting bike riding going on still and all that. Make the community involved too. Do it right though. You know what I mean? So that might help, but not everybody's going to be able to go out and just get an electric car and, and do all these crazy things. So it's hard for me to think that $400, is just going to help everybody's problems out for the whole year. I don't. I mean, and especially in California, Californians are already going to have enough problems the way it is, especially with low pack of snow this year, like low snowpack. I think it filled up like 38% of the reservoir that we needed this year for snowpack. I mean, it's going to be a really hot and dry summer. It's really hot and dry. Like, don't quote me on that. Like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's going to be hot and dry. I know that for sure. Uh, you think about this. 2021 was our last drought. We've been in a drought for the last 3 years. So it's not gotten any better. I think it's gotten worse. And in 2021, we had over 900 fires that just decided, hey, we're going to rage through California and take apart lands and take apart everything else you guys have around you. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people were affected by that. And it happened from January till April. I mean, it just nonstop. And it looks like it's about to happen again, especially with a lot of dry vegetation. It's looking like another very high California fire year. So let's just say, like, hey, I hope that the Californians that are out there that are going to have to deal with this, and even if we do, like, let's hope and pray that nobody gets hurt and nothing happens that's too bad or too overwhelming for anybody, and that everybody kind of gets through this year scotch-free, because that's our natural disaster that happens. And it's the reason they say that it's the natural disasters. You don't know what's causing these fires. It could be anything, and necessarily not necessarily saying someone's starting them. It just gets hot. It's very hot. Stuff catches on fire easier than you think it does, and especially when it's dry. And that's a big thing for why they have like no fireworks going on 4th of July, all that good stuff. Is because it's really easy to burn things down. So just remember that this year is another one. Let's pray for the people that get in the way or of fires or anything like that, because we don't want that. It is going to be low shortage of water this year. So just remember that we got to take a little bit shorter showers, less clothes washing, or at least wear your clothes a couple more times, I guess. Lawns are going to look a little brown. I think we only get about 3 days of watering a month, or a week. 3 days of watering a month, you're definitely looking brown. But 3 days a week of watering. So it's not as much as, we used to when it was every day, every night, whatever it was, that the water could sit on there all good and dewy. But at the same time, we got to do our part to help. I mean, it's not easy, but it's just got to be done. So let's do our part to kind of help out and give back. Don't worry, I'll stink it up for enough for everybody. But now diving into Kern County, again, it is hot. It's getting hot and really hot really quick. So with warmer days, you got people that are trying to jump in the river. Be careful. It's called the Killer Kern. So just be careful. It's called that for a reason. I mean, I'm not saying be a boring person and don't go live your life. I'm just saying it's dangerous and you're not an invincible person. And a lot of times things will happen a lot quicker than you think. So just remember that, hey, be careful. Okay. So they just found, a body that could possibly be the missing boy that went missing about 4 days ago. He was hundreds of yards away. Don't exactly know how, or don't exactly know where, but the river swept him up and took him down. And the Kern County sheriffs had a chopper out, and supposedly they spotted the body, or a body, I should say, not the body, a body, because there's no definitive proof that it's him. They got to ID it and everything first. And so that's going to take some time. Hopefully, though, for that family, they can find the closure of finding the body and being able to bury their son or whatever it is. And condolences to that family. I think they were up a little bit northeast of Bakersfield or something like that. So just, you're not supposed to bury your kids. You know what I mean? So 23, let's go on a good note here. 23 ABC has stated that Kern County students now get free vision care after the superintendent of schools met with a organization. It's nonprofit, and it's called One Sight. They offer now free eye exams and glasses for students. I mean, that's really nice, and it's just something to help out. I do believe that it's a really cool way to do things. And another cool thing for the kids out there, or if you've got kids, so go take them down to Krispy Kreme if they've got their report card, came out a couple weeks ago or something like that. Take them down there. If they got A's, they get free Krispy Kreme donuts for every A. So go take them down there, get a little snack, get them a little something good, have a smile on Krispy Kreme. So go down there and get that. NFL, let's hit up the NFL. I'm ready to dive into it. There's a few things going on here. Let's hit the AFC South. Titans, Jags, Colts, and Texans. Probably one of the slowest free agency divisions this year. Other than a couple things, you know what I mean? Not very many splash trades, not very many things going on other than trading away. So Tennessee Titans haven't made anything really go on. I mean, they've kind of been boring this season. I mean, they got people that are coming up in the draft, maybe. I mean, they got a first, a third, 2 fourths, a fifth, 2 sixths, probably a seventh or something. I don't know, but they don't got even no, they got a second. No, they don't. They don't got a second. So they got, they got a couple places they could pick something up. They don't got a big necessity for a whole bunch of things. I mean, I know they still haven't picked up Julio Jones again or Janorius Jenkins, but that's a couple places where you could look into somebody, especially in this draft. Picking up a receiver wouldn't be a bad idea. You could probably pick them up in the 3rd or 4th round, pick up a couple of them for that 4th round picks, and pick up one for that 3rd round pick. And I'd say for that 1st round pick, maybe pick up somebody on a DB, or maybe go 1st round, pick up the wide receiver, and in the 3rd round, pick up the DB. I mean, either way, you could do pretty good with that if you find the right one. So that might be something, or pick up, who knows, pick up a couple of wide receivers and go match up with AJ Brown, have them do good against that. I don't know what they have in mind for that. They still need a little bit to build, or maybe pick up an offensive lineman. They could use an offensive lineman. It's not bad. They still need to build around Ryan Tannehill if they feel like that's going to be their quarterback for a while, but I don't think it is. I think he's a stopgap. So they need to find something, just kind of build until they're ready to pick up a quarterback and really go for it. So I know also Tom Brady's been trying to recruit Julio Jones over to their team on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Bucks is just, I don't know why, but reading his name makes me say Tampa Bay Bucks a lot easier. So So Tom Brady's trying to recruit Julio Jones over the Tampa Bay Bucks. I do feel like Julio Jones could be a great 3rd receiver. You don't got to put a lot of pressure on him. You could have him play 1 out of 5 plays and he'd still be fresh and sitting here looking scary as could be, being Julio Jones. I mean, it probably keeps him fresher than ever. Then you keep him around for more than 4 games a season and it might take him somewhere. So, I mean, and then they also got so many players over there to guard anyway. It's not like you can't sit here and do something great with that. It'd be a good choice for him. And it's a really, really easy way to probably be very competitive in the playoffs. That's a great choice. Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jags have made a few moves this year. They picked up a couple 5th years. They picked up a couple other veterans, such as Christian Kirk, wide receiver from the Cardinals, who's now changed the game. He's changed the game of getting paid for wide receivers. He upped it. He did what he needed to do to get his money, and congratulations to him. But it's like, damn, like you did that to all the organizations where you're going to sit here and now make everybody pay so much money for this. I mean, he's getting a ridiculous 4-year, $72 million contract. Ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Shouldn't be getting that much for him. He's a 3rd receiver at the over at the Cardinals. He wasn't even a 2nd receiver. So it's like, come on, man. I feel like but at Jacksonville, you have to do that right now. You have to sign people like that. You have to give them big contracts in order for them to go over there. So they did that. They also picked up an offensive guard, Brandon Scherf from the Washington Commanders. Great pickup. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been getting nothing but eaten up all day long. So picking up an offensive guard is perfect for them. They needed that. That's wonderful. Give him some help, protection. That's what he needs. Don't let him get tackled so easy. Let him, let him have a little chance to make something happen. Excuse me, let him have a chance to make something happen. He looks like a great quarterback. Let him be that great quarterback for you. You also got Evan Ingram. They picked him up. Giants. I mean, he has the potential to do great things, but do I think he's doing great things? Not as of yet. So this could be the year that he finally becomes a huge focal point in the offense, like he should have been from the beginning over in the Giants. Is he going to do it? I don't know. Maybe it's the right coaching for him. Maybe it was the bad coaching over there. Maybe it was great coaching over here. Who knows yet? So we'll see. I really would like to see this team do good. I feel like it's a cool little team, and they got some little throw togethers that might just put it together. They also picked up Zay Jones, which is another pick that makes me happy to see the team investing into threats. They're investing into threats on the offense, trying to sit here and make this stuff happen. So maybe Trevor Lawrence has a year where he can shine a little bit. Let him do some stuff. They got a couple picks. They got number 1 pick in the draft. So pick up somebody that's maybe going to also guard and pick up the best left tackle. I don't know, something like that. Somebody that's going to sit here and guard Trevor Lawrence to where you can have some time in the pocket, let him work and let him do his thing. That's all you need to do. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. I don't think this is going to make him a Super Bowl winning team right yet, but I do think it's going to make him a team that can build a franchise. You know what I mean? Like, you have a franchise building chance right here in the draft. Last 2 years, you've had first round picks. Who did that last time? Bengals. They went to the Super Bowl. So try it. Do your thing. Pick up the right thing, but you got to draft right. Are they going to draft right? That's the big question. So I don't know if they're going to do that. The Colts, also a team like the Titans, they've been quiet. They haven't done much. They've, been kind of looking around. I mean, they had tons of cap space. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, they had the most cap space in the NFL at one point. But other than that, other than picking up Matt Ryan, who they got for half the price, by the way, gave away Carson Wentz and they got 2 third-round picks for Carson Wentz. Okay. Traded him away, then go and pick up Matt Ryan for 1 third-round pick. So you kept your third-round pick that you basically, that was a great move. And now they're just kind of keeping on the cap space. I could see them possibly looking into a couple receivers. It'd be a great idea for them, seeing as their receivers are getting old, probably losing a little bit of a step. I mean, they didn't do that great last year. Get somebody that's going to get open. If you're not going to pick them up in free agency, pick them up in the draft. There's a lot of places that you can get in the draft, and you got a couple picks, even not in the first round, that you need or that you don't need, but that you could do it at. You know what I mean? There's a lot of receiver talent in this group, and you can pick them up in the second, third round. Somebody that's going to build, and maybe pick one up in the first, pick one up in the third. Who knows? That'd be a great idea, though. And I could definitely see them maybe possibly trying to strengthen their DBs. Defense, I know they've been looking a little bit to Tyrann Mathieu. They look into Tyrann Mathieu. It'd be cool. It wouldn't be a bad idea for them to have somebody like that coming off. They got a great defense already to begin with. They got a great offensive line. They got a great running back. So now they picked up a really good, Matt Ryan and a quarterback. You get a couple of receivers there. That's all you need. So now if you pick up a little defense in the free agency, that could help out. That way you could focus on picking up a receiver. That'd be nice. So they have a chance to kind of pick from the draft the best player available almost. You know what I mean? Because they don't need very much. They got a pretty talented team already the way it is. Last team I'm going to go through here is the Houston Texans. And what doesn't this team need? So other than the trade happening with Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns, they haven't done anything either. That's why I said that this might be a little bit of a shorter episode, but this is also because this AFC South has just been slow. They haven't done very much. I chose to go over it more quickly, but they chose to stay quiet. I think what they're going to try and do is rebuild right now, which they've got a really, really good chance in this draft. So rebuild around David Mills. David Mills looked great last year. Give him time to grow and put some weapons around him, especially this year. You got tons of ways of doing that. It'd be a great idea to start him as your franchise quarterback. Just build around him. He looks good. He looked great last year. He was putting up tons of numbers. He was being talked about on a team called the Texans. Like, that's not easy to do unless you were Deshaun Watson. Remember that. Okay. So he's being talked about on a team, and I only had Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks seems to do his thing, so don't take all that away from him. But at the same time, you got to still be able to make the throws. I am totally on board with what they're trying to do with David Mills, whatever it is. Sorry if I'm butchering it, but in the draft, you can choose anything. Choose anything for them. I don't care who it is. If they got the best player, choose it. Choose it. Best player there, choose it, because that's what you need. And that's exactly what you need. So that's not a bad thing. So looking at the divisions into depth more. Like, this is why I'm telling you guys, this division was slow. There's not very much going on. I'm going to dive into these other divisions. I feel like next week I will hit, or what day is it today? Friday. So yeah, next week on Wednesday, I will dive into the AFC North. That one's going to be fun, especially after seeing the Bengals. Do you think they're going to rise this year? Do you think they're going to fall? That's a good question. So do you think they're going to get that hangover? They say a lot of teams that lose in the Super Bowl get a big hangover. So we'll see. So I want to hit you up, guys, on Wednesdays. I'm going to try and do this. It's been busy on Wednesdays, but I want to get to you guys on Wednesdays, at least give you guys a little something and split this up so it breaks down a little bit of time. You guys can hear the whole thing. There's a lot of good info to get to you guys, especially like I said, on all these teams. Again, I also got Mitch Carter coming in, but we'll talk more about that. With all the teams still trying to find free agents right now, there's been a lot of rumors flying around. DK Metcalf could be traded. Terry McLaurin could be traded. Remember that. It's a big thing right now. Like, I think this is a plausible thing. It'd be very smart. I think the Seahawks building back up something new would be a great idea. Maybe what's his name out there hasn't retired because of the fact that, you know, he wants to do basically what Bruce Arians did, give him at least a team that could win something before just handing off a POS. You know what I mean? So trading DK Metcalf could get you some stuff. Give away Lockett too, man. He's not, you know, give him away before he falls down lower. Give those two away, get some trades back for him, and get some good picks. Do some things. Do some really good things this year. And even for Terry McLaurin, like, I could see the Commanders. You picked up Carson Wentz. Like, you didn't pick up somebody that's good or great or anything. You picked up Carson Wentz. So remember that, like, somebody that's okay or mediocre. He's going to be injured anyway. Don't worry. But yeah, trade him away. Get some picks for those guys and build your team again. The newest one I've seen was Deebo Samuel traded from the 49ers just because he wiped his Instagram and Facebook, all of that stuff. Don't look too much into that, okay, guys? Like, that's not a big deal. I feel like some people just want to start fresh. I mean, there's some times where I've done that where you just erase everything and you're like, I want to start fresh. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Just leave it alone. He's not probably going anywhere. And if he does, there's a good reason why. I mean, he's a great performer, but at the same time, is he there to perform for you all the time? Think about that. So I don't think that's going to be the way of that going. Like I said, the Metcalf and McLaurin one, I could definitely see that going on. I guess it depends on whether or not you feel like this is the draft that you want to do that in, because you could do it next year, but you also got to think about it. If they fall off next year, then are they going to be worth the same as what they are this year, knowing that everyone knows who they are? So it's definitely something to look into, especially if this year doesn't have the prospects that you're looking for. So other than that, the other trade was a trade between the Saints and the Eagles for draft picks. And it wasn't it was an early trade for draft picks, but it wasn't as early as the 49ers last year that traded for pick 3. So you got to think there's still ways to move. And the Saints received pick 16, pick 19, and pick 194. Whereas the Eagles received pick 18, 101, 237, a 2023 first round pick, and a 2024 second round pick. Okay. A lot of people are speculating that this means that the Saints are going to jump on the bandwagon of trying to pick up a quarterback like Malik Willis this year. One, I hope not, and two, I believe not. I'm on par with Ross Jackson on this one. I feel like we're trying to build players around Jameis Winston and make him our franchise quarterback. We gave him a 2-year deal. I say we, like I'm there. They gave him a 2-year deal and are going to check him out for the next 2 years. If you can't handle the next 2 years and do your thing, then you're gone, you know? So if you can, we can put some stuff around you and you start looking good, then okay, we'll work with that. So I feel like that's why they gave up the first round pick next year, because they're not looking to pick up somebody next year. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to get somebody that's going to plug and play right now. So I don't think that they're going to be going for the quarterback. I do think that it is going to be probably a receiver and a tackle is what I could see them going for, which is most needed. So we'll see about that. But again, guys, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Facebook has all my podcasts. Go check it out. It's Two Piece Pod. Go check that name out. Just say what's up. Hit me up. I'm coming to you guys hopefully more, at least, get around 30 minutes on Wednesdays, Fridays to just kind of spit to you guys. Let's do something like a What's Up Wednesdays or something like that, where you guys ask me some questions. I'll answer them within the spectrum of, stuff I could do on here. So hit me up. Let me know what's going on. This episode was brought to you by Porterville Wholesales. I mean, remember, this guy's got liquidated items for you, low prices. Tell him Two Piece sent you, but he's got the low prices. You got nail guns, compressors, paint sprayers, patio sets, like I said, all the hand tools, nail guns, what do you want to call those? Impact drills, regular drills, whatever you need. Go check him out. He's at 1902 West Grand in Porterville, California. And go look at my Facebook page, Two Piece Pod. Like I said, go look at that. Go look at my group. You can find him there. By the way, don't forget Mitch Carter. Like I said, coming up this Monday, you're gonna find out that he's got a lot of stuff to say, and it's a lot of good stuff, man. It's definitely very interesting to find out what has happened after he's been gone for 10 years. So check that out. Figure it out. Let's go from there. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.